Money's moving to me. I'm a millionaire. Money by the cases. I ain't gotta chase it.
Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? Happy Friday. Once again, I hope that you are having an amazing day thus far. If not, it's about to get a whole lot better. And so I want you all to go ahead and let us know where you're watching from. Rep your city, rep your country. Let me know where in the virtual building you are watching us from tonight. I am so excited about this live. Like, seriously, y'all, I don't even know how it's going to go. I just have all kinds of different emotions. And I was talking to Dr. V about that prior to us coming live. But, you know, I'm just so freaking excited and I'm just so grateful. Oh my gosh, the level of gratitude that I am feeling right now is truly out of this world. And I'm just grateful for that. I'm grateful for the knowledge of knowing to be grateful, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't, and I was not always like that, right, Dr. V? So
Right.
I'm just grateful for that. So anyway, let us know where you're watching from, rep your city, rep your country. I'm going to go ahead and start with my intro and then be able to introduce the dynamic duo here, right? And so my name is Sharita Leon. I went from being a homeless, disabled single mom to a two-time #1 best-selling author with books that were on the bestsellers list for over 2 years straight. I'm also a life, relationship, and business coach, an internet marketing strategist, entrepreneur, international speaker, and the protege of the legendary Les Brown, a Forex trader and investor, and I empower my tribe to live their God-given purpose while creating wealth and have healthy relationships. I'm also a believer, and my faith is exuded in all that I do. So welcome, everybody. So I have the dynamic, the illustrious, the glamazon herself, the phenomenal leader, the co-founder of the BAM Bosses, the professor, the beauty pageant times three, the founder of the Walters Academy for Entrepreneurship, the serial entrepreneur, the wife and mother and big mama, none other than Dr. V. Hey, Dr. V.
Hey, Sharita, how are you? 2 times best-selling author.
I
Look,
can't with you. I am great.
come on now.
I'm great and grateful. Hey, Lisa. Listen, Dr. V, yo, for real, as I was doing my intro just now, like I literally almost started crying. Like I'm so emotional right now.
Right.
And I'm not typically like that, but I was literally just thinking about that journey. You know, earlier today, I was speaking to people about why we all need to get wealthy and touching on how the rules are not made for those that are not. And I was
Right.
sharing a story about, I remember when I was in the WIC office and how they were looking at me so crazy and how they were really judging and all of that. And then as I was doing the intro just now, talking about, you know, being homeless and then talking about being a two-time best-selling author. And then I literally have been seeing my journey come more and more to me lately. And it's really because of the season that we're in
Right.
and really what's happening with partnerships that we have.
Right.
And one of the reasons why I wanted to do this live stream and do it specifically with you is because you and I have many struggles that we've gone through. And one thing that remains true between you and I is our resilience and our ability to keep going in the midst of uncertainty, when it looks like all hell is breaking loose, when it looks like people are looking at us like we're crazy. And to know that you and I are going to become millionaires in this company called Tava, it does so much because it's like we've been through the struggle. We've seen so many things go on. We've
Right.
given our all to so many different opportunities, so many different things. And to finally have all the pieces come together to finally be able to see that all the things that we were promised before are finally coming to fruition now. It is so dynamic. And for me, the other reason why I wanted to come on here is because I wanted to pour my heart to the people that will be watching and to let them know that where they are is not the end all be all, but more importantly, not just to watch a historic movement take place and not
Right.
be a part of it. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
do.
like, go ahead, Dr. V.
Well, it's funny that you say that, Sharita, because literally today I was emotional. And my emotions came from looking at myself working out, and remembering what it was like in July of 2018 when I first started my fitness journey, you know, when I didn't have matching workout stuff, right? I'm not fooling with you tonight, but I didn't have matching workout stuff. I didn't have workout tennis shoes. I can remember going to the gym and feeling like everybody else looked cute. I looked like I just threw some stuff together because I just didn't have it because I wasn't working out. And I remember my coach, Coach Destiny, because she had so much workout stuff. Like she had tubs and tubs and tubs of workout stuff. And I remember her giving me some workout stuff so that I could feel good when I went in the gym, right? And I could be coordinated. So it's something about that that makes a difference. It really does, right?
It really does.
When you are matching, when you feel like you've got the right equipment. And I was thinking about it. People are looking at what I'm doing right now and they are, they're like, you better go, girl, you know, get it, you know, but Sharita, I couldn't do any of that stuff. None of it. July 25th, 2018, I would not have been able to do any of the stuff that I did in my workout that I did today. I just wouldn't have been able to do it. I definitely wouldn't have been able to do it consistently without a break. I just wouldn't have. And I found myself thinking, you know, people don't understand that when they look at you, that you weren't always there. Like I wasn't always the little plus fitter. I was a plus fitter for real, right? Now they try to kick me out. Y'all not kicking me out. I'm plus fit for life, right? But it's the same way with us. Somebody said to me today, they said, well, I know you've done several different companies. What makes this company different for you? And I was sharing with them some of the things that make it different. And we've done things together. And the beauty of us having done things together is that we know each other's story. We know each other's struggles and we know each other and we know we're going to go hard. So while you're telling the people what you told them earlier today, like this morning, I literally got on with baby Brooklyn telling people, don't tell me what you can't do. Like I got this old baby in my office, in my arm, putting my makeup on, doing a live. Let's go. Don't tell me what you can't do. And too often we allow those experiences, because see, those experiences, like you were talking about being in the WIC office, those experiences are pivotal. They're turning points, right? So you either will allow them to cause you to feel some type of way and just shut down, or there'll be the things that provoke you and say, oh, hell no, I'm not doing that. No, no, I'm not going back to that. Because similarly, when we were homeless, when God moved us to Florida, because we didn't plan on moving to Florida, but when God moved us to Florida, we couldn't go back and get anything. And I remember calling an agency, trying to find out what resources were available for our transition, and telling the woman who I was. She's like, you have a PhD and you're homeless? I was like, yeah. I said, I also wrote a book, you know. She's like, well, what was the name of the book? I said, Use Your Buckets, 12 Life Lessons for Success. And this is what she said to me. It doesn't seem like that worked out too well for you, did it?
Oh, wow.
And I thought to myself in that moment, first of all, I know I got more education than you. That's the first thing. Second of all, how dare you be in the position that you're in?
Right.
Mock someone because they're educated and they find themselves in that space, because it just lets you know that your education doesn't protect you.
Exactly.
It doesn't make you immune to things that happen in life. And I remember the sister girl in me wanted to straight cuss her out. And I didn't.
God bless you.
What I said, Sharita?
What you say?
I never want someone to feel what I felt in that moment. That no matter what you've done, that it's not enough.
Right.
Or to feel like someone has a right to downplay who you are. And so it made me go harder. You know, it made me go harder. And sure enough, a couple of weeks later, I got a position at Hillsborough Community College, and I was teaching during listen, they had already started school. This is a special session that I got.
Wow.
So God literally created opportunity for me after the normal start of the semester for this special interim term because of my faithfulness. Because I didn't cuss her out.
Amen. God bless you.
Yeah, because I didn't cuss her out. Girl.
Amen.
An old-fashioned person. So I appreciate what you're saying, because it is in that space of gratitude that we really open the door for the blessings to truly flood in. And so I'm grateful for you. And I tell you this all the time. You know, I make a point of doing that. And I make a point of doing that. And people might say, oh, that's not real, that's fake. But listen, let me tell you what I've learned. I've learned to make a point of letting people know that you love them and you appreciate them, because you don't know when that person won't be around or when you won't be around. And so I want to make sure that I tell the people that I love them, that I'm grateful for them being in my life, that I'm excited about being connected to them. And no matter what the world tries to do or tries to say, oh, you know, Black women can't work together. Oh, you know this, you know that. Listen, no, we're building this together, right? Because everything in us, both of us, because both of us are Leos, both of us are Lions, both of us are very independent. There'll be times when I know we feel like, I need something that's just more. Like, I just need to do this. Like, it's like everything in you. I promise you, I feel it. Like, I know you feel it because we're twins, right?
Yeah.
So, but what's even greater is to be able to be an example to the world of what can be built together. Of course, we still have our own stuff, but of what we can do together. So I definitely appreciate being partnered with you, building with you, and changing lives with you, because that's literally what we're doing, is changing lives.
Yeah. And I feel the same way about you. And that's why I wanted to, before I got on here, I was like, let me shoot you this link, because I want this to happen with you. And before I even get into that, thank you, Janisha. Hopefully I didn't mess up your name. Thank you. Because I was watching a group of people that I truly admire in this industry. And I know many of their stories. And I've seen them go through their ups and their downs. And they're way up right now, right?
Right.
And what was so powerful to me was this group of very powerful Black leaders in this industry. Some of the industry, some were in it, got out, but they're very successful in their own right.
Right.
And knowing their stories and seeing them coming together and living the life. Literally, and when I say living the life, I don't just mean flying the private planes and living in, penthouses. They're living the life and impacting literally thousands of people at one time, hundreds of thousands of people worldwide.
Right.
Impact. And I see that, and I'm so freaking inspired, because the vision in me, the promise in me leaps. And when I see that, I see Dr. V along with some others, but especially Dr. V, I see us doing that in such a grand scale, where there are other women that look like us doing it. Because I don't really, and be quite honest, I don't really see that many other people in this industry that are Black women that I relate to, that I can see. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. That looks like us. Oh, yeah, I don't. There's just a couple of men that I see in the industry that I can resonate with.
Right.
And so with that, Dr. V, you and I believe, are some of those models that people will see, that can relate to, and be able to say, I remember when they said this. I remember when she used to go to the gym and she didn't have no matching clothes, right? I remember when they remember. And so we come, and one of the things that I really could not stand when I watch other people, and even when I was younger, we would see successful people, but I didn't know how. Like, we never saw the journey. It was
Right.
always that finished result. And so it left people like me just guessing and hoping and wishing. And what I do know about success is that it's intentional, and there are strategic things that take place in order for someone to be successful. So the intentionality of me doing this is to invite others in to realize we have taken certain steps. There are certain aspects of us that we've had to grow and share and evolve in so that way we could be ready. And so as I was thinking before I even did this live stream, reflecting, because if you know me personally, you know I'm always thinking, always daydreaming, always hypothetically thinking about something. That's just what I'm always doing, because I live in my imagination. Like, I literally live in my imagination. And I didn't know until about maybe a couple of years ago that that was truly one of the gifts that I have. Because, you know, we're not taught to live in our imagination. We're just
Right.
taught our children to imagine, and that's great and whatever. But successful people, they are constantly in their imagination, creating the life that they actually want, right?
Yeah.
And so I was looking back at some of the things that I had encountered, some things that I did, and I was thinking about, you know, some of the companies. Like, when I was presented with this industry called direct sales, marketing 13 years ago, I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, it resonated with me. Like, this,
Right.
well, I'm going to do this, honey.
Right.
I saw
Right.
people that were living it up, and I'm like, oh, this is how I'm going to
Yes.
do it.
Mhm.
And it didn't happen then.
Right.
It didn't happen 13 years ago. And it was like, whoa, wait, why? What didn't happen? I was excited. Wait a minute. And it didn't happen because I wasn't ready.
Yes.
I liked the idea and I saw how it could happen, but I was nowhere near ready. I was not the person then that I am today.
Correct.
And today I'm ready, right? I'm ready, but even in me being ready, I'm still growing and evolving,
Yes.
right? And so the journey that we take to get to this place has to truly be intentional. But also, the key missing point that a lot of people don't have is the gratitude.
Yes.
Gratitude is so pivotal, regardless of where you are in life, and being able to take that gratitude and use that as a tool. Gratitude is a tool in you getting what it is that you desire, because gratitude is also a form of faith. And it is impossible to please God without faith.
Yes.
And so when you are tapping into gratitude, you're thanking God for where you are, for what you have. You're thanking Him for what is to come. But gratitude also it's almost like gratitude will not transmute you, but it will what's the word I'm looking for? It will take you from where you are to where you're going. The word is escaping me right now, but it's like being Enoch was, just
Translated.
translated, right? So it's like when you're in level of gratitude, that gratitude will translate you to where you are in the future,
Yes.
and it draws us closer, because see, we are just like God on the earth. And if
Yes.
God is the Alpha and the Omega, God sees the beginning from the end. We have that same ability to see it. Now, we don't know the whole 1, 2, 3 steps of getting there,
Right.
but
Right.
we have within us, within our imagination, within our spirit, to know where we're going. And so when we tap into that gratitude, we literally tap into the future person, drawing it closer to us, right?
Yeah.
And so, as I was so overwhelmed with the gratitude tonight of where God has brought me from to where I am and to what is about to happen,
Yeah.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I literally was in tears, literally, because the things that we have been praying and believing for so long is finally happening now. The opportunities that we thought we would have then, but it didn't work out, is happening now. A whole lifestyle is being created now. And
Yes.
to have this vehicle that we are a part of called Tava, and to see it happening. And shout out again to my mentor and leader, Mr. Brown, because going back to that call that he was doing the other day with you, that you dropped the total mic on Wednesday, and talking about how he had written down that he was a diamond 10 years ago in another company.
Yes.
It never happened.
Right.
And here he is 10 years later as a diamond.
Yes.
And
In
so
this
many in this company, right?
Right.
And many of us, we miss it because it didn't happen. Then so we stop believing. We just stop and say, well, it didn't happen. It's not the will of God. No, this is the
Oh
time
my
where
God,
you
that's so
still
good.
keep moving. You
That's
still
so
keep
good.
going until it happens. You
Yes.
when I get on every time when I say only believe until the end, that's a real thing. If
Yes.
it has not happened yet, that means it's not the end. So we don't quit in
Right.
between. That in between time is so pivotal. And if you don't take heed to it, you will relinquish what actually belongs to you when in all actuality, the promise was here waiting for you.
Yes. And that's important, Sharita, because the promise is in a location.
Come on, come on.
The promise is in a location, right? And the key is that you have to get to that location to get to the promise.
Come on.
See, and sometimes we have to go through certain things to get us to the location or to be able to occupy the space, because as we previously existed, we couldn't get to the place.
Mm-hmm.
So when I look at, and this is why I do the things that I do. This is why I'm as transparent as I am. This is why I show people the process and the journey. I'm real transparent and authentic in that, because this is what God told me. God said, lots of people will show the end, but I need you to show the process.
Come on.
Lots
That's
of people
so
will show
real.
the end, but I need you to show the process, because you give people hope in the process. So I could wait until I lost the weight, until I was a certain size, and then I just show up like, bam,
Bosses.
right? It was magic, right? But no, he wants me to show people the work, right? The process, the pain. Like even in the video today, like there was a period where I wanted to quit. Like I was like, I can't go anymore. I'd already done 4 rounds. I was like, listen, I lost my mind. I don't know what I was thinking. I was tripping. Listen, let me just gonna stop. Okay. But God said, no, keep going. And so I had to keep going. And I wasn't going at the same strength that I was going earlier, but I kept going. And that's real. There's another video. And my coach, my trainer, shout out to Coach Destiny Marie, Plus Fit Motivator, who motivates Plus Fit. And this is because plus size women, there is a struggle for us that, and I know people may look at me like, Dr. V,
You know, I
plus.
said, stop with that us. Ain't nobody talking about some us, girl. Bye.
Listen,
Us.
because that was me too, right? So when women go through things like training, it's difficult because we already feel self-conscious about our bodies. You know, we don't want to be in the gym because we don't want people looking at us or laughing at us, or, you know, we already feel like not good enough, right? And so the way that she works with Plus Fit women, like, it's so amazing to me, because I promise you, I would have been done with this, been done, right? But she would always remind me and motivate me, and I'd look at her and I'd look at her progression and I'd look at her journey, and it would inspire me and encourage me to continue on. But Sharita, this is the reality. For all of the areas where I'm extremely confident, for all of the areas where I just boss up like it's nothing, right? I do it automatically. There are still those areas where I have insecurities,
Mm-hmm.
where I feel shame. And let me be real with you. I have felt some type of way about saying that I'm going to be a 6-figure earner and not having gotten there yet.
Mm-hmm.
About going from one company to another company to another company to another company and still not having achieved it.
Mm-hmm.
And so every time I would open my mouth to say it, my husband would be like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I said, okay, let me just not say nothing. I'm just not going to say nothing, okay? Let me just do what I do. But it takes a lot to continue the journey.
Ooh.
When it hasn't manifested in the past.
Yeah. especially when it's public.
Yes. Yes.
That part.
Mhm.
Because people are looking at you like, okay, well, you said that, didn't you already? Oh, okay. And so now they're gonna keep watching because they're like,
Right.
okay,
Right. Thought
you
you
said that
said.
already. But you said something that was so important. You said it takes courage to keep going. It's not easy, y'all. It is not easy.
Right.
And nor is success this straight road that, oh, I mean, there are very few people that actually did something one time and became successful at it. Like,
Right.
very few. They are not the majority.
Right. Nor
So,
the norm.
right, exactly. So for you to have that expectation, it's not realistic, right?
Yeah.
And when
Mhm.
I say realistic, that term is relative because the way I live is not realistic for many people. The way I'm going to live is not going to be very realistic to many people. And then there will be some that there's totally far more than that. I was listening to and watching a video today of one of the gentlemen that I'm referring to, and he can be seen as braggadocious, right? Because he likes to wear a lot of jewelry and he has a very nice house and very nice cars. And he was talking today and he was saying, I don't often talk about why I do what I do. And he was saying that one of the reasons why he wears the jewelry is because, one, he knows he's a king, right? He knows exactly who he is. Identity is going to be key in any type of level of success in any area of life. We'll get back to that. The second thing he was talking about is how he's gone through having nothing and to now being able to, so he does it for himself
Right.
to remind him of where he's been and
Mhm.
also to inspire other people that he's assigned to that will see it and be inspired.
Right.
While there will be others who will always say, oh, you're doing too much and all of
Too
that.
much.
Who cares about what they think?
Right.
They're not paying any of your bills.
Right.
If you were down and out right now, they probably wouldn't help you.
Correct.
So why are we living a life trying to appease people that really don't care in the first place?
Right.
You can, so go ahead and do it, right? He understands wealth creation. He has things in place. He's been
Right.
broke and rich on multiple occasions. And that's, to me, what is so important to your point earlier on. This is someone who has been rich and been broke more than once. And so what if he had decided to stop when he lost everything?
Right.
But see, it's one thing when you never had anything.
Come on
But
now.
then when you have it and then lose it,
Come on.
oh, that's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
But the mindset that he had to keep going is what allowed for him to be where he is now, not receiving that level of defeat.
Right.
Not saying or identifying with it failed or that's me because it didn't work or I had a divorce and that it didn't work. This is who I am. No. Who are you
Mhm.
identifying yourself with and who and what voices are you listening to? Because if you're listening to everybody else that does not even have your answer, that
Yeah.
will not help you in any way, shape, or form, you're always going to miss it. So yes, people may have seen us doing multiple things. Yes. And guess what? And most of those things, there was some level of success in it. But
Yeah.
guess what? If it didn't work, get the heck up out of there. What do
Then-
I look like being there, staying somewhere just for the fact of, well, I'm going to stick it out? No, if it's not working, I'm going to go until I find where I'm supposed to be. And I just thank God I finally found it.
Yes. And that's so key, Sharita, because some people will not change anything in their life that's not working. Nothing.
Yeah.
Whereas I'll change everything in my life that's not working. Everything.
Right. Come on.
The hairstyle ain't working. Oh, I'm finna get some new hair.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, that outfit's not working. I'm finna change my outfit. Oh, this marriage is not working.
Hello. She did
I'm
that
finna
too.
change that too. Right? And I know some people, they would say, or they may say, well, but that's a covenant with God. Can I tell you that some covenants, while they're made before God, they're not covenants that God ordained. And
Right.
sometimes, even in covenants that God ordained, some things go left. And so we have found ourselves in places where we're so stuck that we can be in a place where we're losing our mind, we're slowly dying, but we're going to stay because we don't want anyone to think we quit. And this is what I will say. People say this about me. They say, well, Dr. V, you know, one thing about you, you're always going to get up. One thing about you, you're never going to quit. One thing about you, absolutely the truth.
Mm-hmm.
If I believe in something, I'm going to keep going until it works. That includes marriage, right? Raising children. None of those things are easy things. And so when I look at I promise, Sharita, I've been in such a grateful place as it relates to my family, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been talking about, oh my God, how blessed I am with my children and my grandchildren, because I remember a time when my oldest son didn't really fool with me because he was mad with me. I remember a time when my family was really fragmented and the siblings didn't necessarily talk to each other. But now for us to get on and video chat and have the grandbabies on there and we're laughing and having a good time and talking trash, I'm like, oh my God, I legit love my life. I love my family. I love my children. I love my grandchildren. I love my journey. And I think the only thing that has ever been able to really get me to go home at night has been baby Brooklyn. Because before Brooklyn came,
oh no, you were in that office. Yep.
I was constantly working. And her arrival has made me have to reevaluate my priorities and make sure that I build in time. Because she won't be small always. I won't have access to her like this always. And so while I do, I want to enjoy those moments and enjoy that time. And so it caused me to make a few shifts and adjustments. But it's still 10 to 9. I'm at the office. But I'm going to go home and I'm going to have Brooklyn. So it just matters that we be willing to say, okay, I need to change this. And then make the necessary changes no matter how many times you've tried. Sharita, weight loss. Lisa's talking about her weight loss journey.
Listen.
How many times have we tried products?
Listen, let me tell you something. Okay, let me tell you something. Weight has been an issue literally my entire life. Literally my entire life. And I was looking at these Facebook memories and looking at me when I saw a picture of me the other day. I said, Jesus, I had on my little bodycon dress, honey. I said, oh yes. And I was like, Lord, because I've had so many ups and downs when it comes to this thing called weight and really dealing with that. But it's a freaking journey. But one thing that I'm not going to do is quit. So I don't care if I had to be, up and down with my weight all these years. One thing that I'm going to keep doing is getting it done. And I'm not going back, right? And listen, even with that, because there's somebody probably watching saying, well, I said that last time and I'm not going back and I did it again and I don't think I could do it this time. Listen, before I got started with Tava, no lie. Before I got started with Tava, I really didn't think I was going to be able to lose weight again. I'm like, I done tried everything at this point. Wow. And I'm like, I don't know what else to do. And I was having this tug of war within myself because I'm like, okay, here I am. I can't do anything else. I feel like I mentally don't feel like it's possible for me anymore. And at the same time, I still feel uneasy quitting and saying, well, I'm just going to be big the rest of my life. Just deal with it. Like, no, that wasn't going to work. So I think sometimes the fact that you can't give up and the fact that you don't see the result at the same time could be even worse than just giving up altogether. So it's like, this just like saying, I know I'm going to be a millionaire, but it hasn't happened yet. And so do I just say, forget it? It's just too far-fetched. It's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. Or do I get stuck in between? That in between part, if you're someone that doesn't give up, is worse. Yeah. So you just feel all kinds of feelings and just keep going anyway. Like, why stop? Yeah. You have to keep going. And in you, as you continue to go, and when you have the mindset to never give up, stuff happens that work out in your favor, like the situation here with Tava. Like, oh my gosh, like all things that have happened had to happen for this moment, for this company to be created, for the way that things have come together, for the leadership that I'm a part of. Like, things had to happen. It had to happen, but I would have never known that if
Right.
I was still stuck in the past experiences and thinking that, oh, people are gonna think this, and oh my gosh, I said I didn't want to do this anymore, and nobody has time for that. I
Right.
would have never been able. I was looking, Dr. V, and some of the people in our organization, seeing their results, both from the products, seeing people get inspired, seeing people go out and changing their whole life, reinventing themselves. Like,
Come
I'm
on.
like,
Come on, man. I'm here for it.
listen, all of it. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, what if 8.5 months ago, when I was presented with this opportunity, if I said no, all of these people, where would they have been?
Right.
There are literally people that were praying for this opportunity. And literally, boom, here it goes. And now they're taking off. And it's like, I would have never been able to see that if I didn't say yes, if I didn't keep going.
Hmm.
And this is why you can't give up.
That's right. That's right. And I'm grateful that you didn't give up, because I wouldn't be where I am. Like, and I, you know, people feel how they feel. I
Right.
legit love network marketing. Like,
Yeah.
tell you, I love it so freaking much. I love it. And when I'm not involved in something, I feel like, oh my God, what in the world is going on? Like,
Yeah,
oh
that's
my
powerful.
God. Mm, mm, mm.
Wow. So Lisa says, me either. I wanted to give up. A doctor told me I wouldn't be able to do it. Literally told me you can't do it. At that moment, I heard my spirit. I can do all things. And then I saw Dr. V on YouTube. Do y'all
Wow.
see how powerful that is? I
Wow.
didn't even know that's how you all met. That's crazy. So here she is. A doctor is telling her she can't do it. Dr. V shows up on YouTube. Lisa happens to see a video. And do you see how the dots were connected? This same woman we're talking about, this Lisa Hart, lost 7 pounds in the last 7 days.
Right.
Like,
Mhm.
see, this is what happens if Dr. V had not said yes. There was a Lisa Hart who would have just gone from a doctor's office, feeling defeated, and probably would not have kept going. Do you all see the power in this thing? Oh
Mm.
my gosh. This
It
is divine.
it is. And that's the thing that I tell people, listen, this is bigger
Come on.
than network marketing. It's bigger than direct sales. Like, I feel with everything in me, this is so a God thing, a God move, right? And for me, I'm big on hearing the voice of God and being guided by God, right? And I've done a lot of things. Not all of them were God moves, right? Some of them were good moves, but every good
Right.
move is not a God move. But every God move is a great move. Let me say
Mm-hmm.
that one more time for the people in the back.
Come on. Come on.
Every good thing is not every good move is not a God move, but every God move is a
A
great move.
great move. Come on.
And so if you're stuck on you don't want to make a move, then you're going to miss it every single time, because God moves. It's just like the children of Israel. When God said, I want you to follow the fire by night and the
Come
cloud by
on.
day,
By day.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
if they didn't move, but the
Mm.
cloud was moving, or they didn't move, but
Mm.
the fire was moving, they would have never gotten to the place where they could get to the promised land, even though not all of them would make it into the promised land. Some of them
Wow.
would have to die out because of their lack of faith, because of their lack of obedience, and because they had shown, listen, you're not worthy to cross over.
Mm.
And even Moses didn't cross over, not because of him, but because of the people he was leading.
Mm,
God said,
mm.
you can't go.
You know,
Mm.
that is, yeah, you better. You better. Because it's real. It's that real. She said, had they not moved, how could they follow the cloud? And that's the thing. There are words that have been spoken over in our lives, intentions that God had put inside of us, and we don't see come to fruition. And it's not God's fault. He's out here looking like, why are you not there yet? Because you're not willing to move. You're not willing to perceive and know that a new thing is being done. And that's the thing that we have to really realize. Our God likeness, God is ever moving, ever evolving, always going fresh, new, right? He sees something dead, he wants it to live. He speaks, he creates. And we are to be the same way. But we get so boggled down in things that didn't work and past hurts that we get stuck when you should get up. When the children of Israel were crying over Moses, he said, yo, wake up. You mourned already. Moses is dead.
Moses is dead. He ain't getting back up. He's dead. The same way when David's son died.
Yeah.
David mourned before the son died. He was in sackcloth and ashes. But when the son transitioned, God said, get up, go wash your face, change your clothes, and eat. We do it in the reverse.
Come on.
When it's living, we're eating and celebrating, but when it dies, we put on the sackcloth and ashes. And God is literally trying to get us to understand, why do you search for the living among the dead?
Come on.
And that's exactly what Jesus said when, Jesus, when Mary was in the garden at the tomb looking for him. Where's my Lord? Where's my Lord? Where have you put him? Right? Jesus said, he's not here. And she said, well, what did you do with him? And he said, listen, why do you seek the living among the dead? And we're seeking the living among the dead. Dead people, dead mindsets, dead habits, dead desires.
Come on.
Dead dreams, dead talents, dead gifts. Not because the gifts don't have the opportunity to live, but because they are like the man that was at the pool of Bethesda, laying on the mat. And Jesus said, wilt thou be made whole?
Come on.
And he said, well, I would, but when the water stirs, when the angel stirs the water, nobody will put
all the excuses.
He said, take up thy bed and walk.
And walk. Yo, that's what I mean, that's why I'm like, yo, I don't understand how so many Christians don't get it. And then they see people in the world doing it and they want to throw this and talk about this, or this, and this, that. No, they get it. Right. They read our scriptures and live it out. Jesus was always solution oriented.
Solutions.
Get up, walk. Like it's like, I don't want to hear your excuse. Get up and walk. Pick up your bed and walk.
Go and sin no more.
Right. Movement. There's something that happens in movement.
Yes.
He makes Abram a promise. Okay, Abram, now go.
To a land that I will show you.
Exactly.
Now, I'm not giving you the GPS coordinates right now. I'm not telling you what you're going to go through when you get there, but to get there. But listen, I need you to operate in faith. Take your wives, your help, your animals, your and go.
Yep.
Go to a land that I will show you. I want you to leave who? Your
family.
Yep. Right there where they at. Which is why some marriages don't work. Folks want to bring their parents into their marriage.
Come on, somebody. Listen, that will not be me and my husband.
Or houses, right?
Listen, come on, houses.
And you go to your house. Figure it out at your house. Go to the land. And this is why I believe that God did what he did, because when God brought us to Tampa, we had just gotten remarried. We were in a city where my ex-husband, who was a pastor, lived, right? Who had listen, anyway, that's a whole nother story. But just know this. People that I thought would be for me were not. People that I thought knew me did not. People who I thought knew my character did not. And it was evident. Okay? By things that were done and how I was treated. Because I said, I'm not doing this anymore. Okay? And this is the crazy thing. It's crazy how sometimes men can do things to women. And when the woman finally says, I'm sick of this ish, she's the one that's ostracized. And he is still lifted up.
Yep.
But she's
Especially in the
ostracized.
church.
She's kicked to the curb.
Jezebel.
She now has no value.
Delilah.
Which is why God had to develop a writ of divorcement, because these men was treating women any kind of way and then going on about their business, and the women were stuck. They couldn't go on with their lives. They had to stay right there. They were used goods. They had no value. Come on.
Yep.
We still see some of that today, particularly in the church. And so when we came to Tampa, first of all, I wasn't going to marry Rick Walters. I didn't like him. Did you hear what I said?
I heard you.
I didn't like him. And he did not like me. Okay? We were not all lovey-dovey trying to get back together. I was done. I wasn't going back. I'm not doing this no more. Oh, no. I'm trying to give him to other people. I'm trying to marry him off to people. I said, oh, she'll make you a good wife. Girl, he'll make you a good husband. He cooks. He cleans. He does all this stuff. He's a good daddy. He's just not the person for me. And literally, God had me tossing in my sleep, struggling and fighting, and said, marry him again. Again? No. No, I don't go back. I go forward. Never backwards, only forward.
Come on, never backwards.
Only forward, right? God said, no, marry him again. But let me tell you what I didn't know. What I didn't understand was that a year later, our daughter would go through this whole phase where she was running away. And I think one of the things that allowed me to get through it was that I knew that her dad and I, her biological father and I, were together. She lived in a 2-parent household. She had her own room, her own phone, her own TV. She had her own stuff. You know? So if I'd been with any other man, I promise you, her daddy, his family, my family, everybody would have sworn that man must have been touching her. But the truth of the matter is that she wanted to be gangster and hood. So I'm grateful because God already knew what was coming. So there was my plan, right? My plan was never back, never backwards, only forward. But God's plan was, no, I need y'all to be together through in here because this child is going to need both of y'all. So God has a plan, and it's to bring us, to give us a hope and a future, and to bring us to an end. And so we forget the hope in the future, and we stay stuck because of disappointment. But I need you to understand that the hope in the future is there in order to get you to the expected end that God already has established. Us being millionaires and billionaires, us changing lives and creating other millionaires. See, Sharita, I believe with everything in me that Mr. Lloyd's testimony of having created 14 to 16 millionaires in another company, that we're going to have those kinds of testimonies, that, you know, it's going to be, oh yeah, Sharita and Dr. V, those BAM bosses, they created all of these millionaires and billionaires. Like they set the foundation. I believe that. I believe that we have been called to change the financial landscape of our families, to break generational curses in order to allow our family to dream, to be, to do. You see, the only way to get there is not by being an actor or a singer or a musician,
Come on.
a television star. Like, that's not the only way to get there. There's some other ways to get there. And I believe with everything in me that kingdom entrepreneurship is one of them.
Absolutely.
What happens when you raise a generation of entrepreneurs? You get a house full of bosses.
Come on. That part. That part. Creating a new norm for your family. What is the new norm for your family? They can say, oh, I came from a group of entrepreneurs. Oh, I came from world changers. This is what we do. We have the opportunity to create a whole new story for the whole future of the
Yes.
people that will have your DNA.
Yes.
We are the bold ones, the radical ones that say we become someone else from this point on.
Yes.
That even if we have to change our names, whatever has to be done, we will be the ones to not look backwards, that we come from rich soil. That will be the testimony of the children's children that will be able to go back and look and find me, because they will know. I hate the fact that I can't go back to after my grandmother. I don't really know much about my great grandparents. I know that they were affluent in Haiti, but I don't know much about them, and I don't know anything after that. But trust and believe the lineage that comes from Sharita, they will be able to trace me back. And they'll be able to know that we set a new precedence for how they see our family.
Yes.
That we were the ones that totally changed the trajectory of what others said was possible.
Yes.
That we were bold enough to believe, bold enough to go out there. You know, I was thinking about this not too long ago. My grandmother, I didn't even know this for a while. My grandmother was an entrepreneur. And so while she was in Haiti, she would come to America and she would go and buy different things and she would sell it in Haiti. So then afterwards, she came to America and then she didn't do the her businesses like that before. Like, she was just more like into working. And so, did I just wake up my daughter in her sleep? Where are you going, Isabel? What happened? Okay, yes, you're walking in your sleep. Okay, go back to bed. Go back to bed.
You done woke the baby up and got her walking.
Come on, that's prophetic right there. She's never in her life done that before.
Wow.
She's never done that before.
You done woke the baby up in the spirit.
Come on.
And got her moving.
Wow. That's never happened before. She's never walked in her sleep before. Never woken up. Like, that's never happened.
Wow.
But that's the power of what we're saying.
Exactly.
That is the power of what we're saying, that it will wake her up from her sleep and literally not even know what she's doing. My God, literally to subconsciously wake up and start walking, not even know where she's going. Like, that's never happened before. But that's the power of the words that we're speaking, that my children's children will do just that, be able to walk, because I spoke a word and it reached them before they were even born, to be able to have a life that they didn't know was possible because I spoke a word. I believed. I changed things that they said were not able to happen because we believed, because we spoke it, and because we did the work. That's life. That's real life. And so I was going to the story about my grandmother. So she came here and then she went to being, regular working, woman and things of that sort. And then I was thinking about how my grandfather, another very prestigious man, he was the first pastor in Port-au-Prince to open up a Seventh-day Adventist church. And they did some dynamic things and they came here and they kind of just like slowed down a bit. And that entrepreneurial move didn't really fall on my generation before me. My mom, her siblings, none of them. And then it came to me. And then I was reminded of the call that God has in my life and the call to change and shift things, to truly, totally be that legacy-minded individual, to show other people in my family what is necessary, but also what is possible. And so for those of you that are watching us, you're watching us and we're deliberate about having you watch us. Because we want you, as Dr. V said earlier on, to see the process. Because I'm promising you, the way I know my name is Sharita, that literally you will see within the next 12 months, we will be millionaires in this opportunity called Tava. I'm not even talking about any other endeavor. I'm just talking about Tava. And you all will be able to see that and be a part of it. I don't know if Dr. V's frozen or not, but you all will be able to see that. and be a part of the journey. And this is why truly you don't want to give up. This is why truly you have to go out there and make it happen. And so she's back. There she goes.
Girl, the whole thing shut down. Firefighters
Oh, wow.
totally shut down.
Wow. That's the power. That's the power. We shut things down and raise it right back up. Whatever needs to be rolled back up, it will be. That part. But I say all that to say, literally, the movement is happening.
Yeah.
It is happening. It's not a question.
Right.
It is happening. And when I had a conversation with someone and, you know, they were sharing with me their journey and the amount of money that they're making and the lives that they're impacting. And I'm just like, man, I'm just so glad they didn't give up. I'm just so glad they didn't give up. And so many people are there giving up. There's no time to give up. Give up should not even be an option. Giving up should never be an option. Period.
You're talking about giving up. And you know, the news is saying that Tamar Braxton allegedly attempted suicide.
Oh, wow.
And people don't understand that it's not just about money.
Right.
And things. It's about truly creating a lifestyle that you can live and enjoy and sustain and, you know, not succumbing to the pressures of the world, because with celebrity comes pressure. With celebrity comes these expectations. With celebrity comes people coming for you, right?
Yep.
People are always going to come for you. That's why I'm glad I have a Kenya Moore spirit.
Come on.
Don't come for me unless I send
for you.
If you don't want these problems,
come
if you
on.
come over here, your head might get busted. Open, metaphorically, not in the natural. Okay, I'm just saying metaphorically. No violence allowed.
Amen.
Okay. But if violence is necessary, the kingdom of God.
Some violence is going to take it by force.
I just prefer not to go there.
Oh my gosh.
Bless the
Amen.
Lord. But I'm violent about destiny. And I'm violent about my folks. I'm violent about the promises of God. I'm violent about that. I think the problem is the church has gotten very
soft.
Yes. And lackadaisical. And well, if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, no, it ain't no if it happens, it happens. It don't happen.
Stop being so weak.
It must.
It is so.
It is finished.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
And I think that's the thing, Sharita, is we're not afraid to operate in the spirit with that level of force, right?
Yes.
We're not scared of it. I'm not
Tenacity.
scared to have people misunderstand me or to not agree with a decision. Or I'm gonna tell y'all something. Listen. Let me tell y'all what my family knows about me. Don't come to me telling me, oh, you don't need to do that. Don't do that. I'm a whole grown woman. I'm a whole grown woman.
A whole grown.
And I've been a whole grown woman since I was 17, right? Don't come trying to tell me, no, you can't do this. Or you don't. No, I don't receive that. Okay.
Right.
Before I understood what I don't receive that meant, right? But if I didn't receive that as a person, it would be me. I don't receive that.
Come on, somebody.
Okay. But for me, like my family can never come to me and say, you can't be with someone or you don't need to do this. Don't. Did I ask you?
That part.
If I didn't ask you, opinions stay over there.
Come on. No solicitation.
Just saying. But see, if you spend your entire life always asking people, what do you think? Should I do this? Should I do that? Why are you surprised when they impose their thoughts, their feelings, their beliefs upon you? Because you've always asked them for it. So of course they're going to give to you. My family, no, I'm good.
Amen.
Very much. And I love my family. And my family loves me. But they're just lines that they know not to cross.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes you allow people so much leeway in your life that they feel like they can say and do whatever they want in your life.
Come on.
So we have to learn how to let people live their life. So with my kids, I have to back up sometimes. I have to back up and I have to say, hey, listen, that's your baby. You do what you want to do. This is your life. You make your decision. And really let people understand the power of making decisions, and so they make them. You know, you don't want to drink the tea? Don't drink the tea.
You're gonna drink yours though.
I'm drinking mine. Hey,
Hello.
I can't make you do anything. You take your journey, I'll take my journey. Okay,
That's it.
And I'm good. And I'm good. And so we've got to be able to do that. So Sharita, I know for me, I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for having you in my life. I'm grateful for you saying yes to Tava. I'm grateful for you not giving up on me. I'm grateful for the partnership that we've developed. I'm grateful for the fact that I know that the fact that I know that I have some people in my life who know what I've been through and who are there, and even in the worst times didn't judge me, but provided me with support. And in the times when people thought I was crazy for how I handled stuff, got me and understood why I did what I did the way I did it, because I'm real big on not dragging other people into drama. But sometimes that means that you can't say anything. Mm-hmm. And sometimes people don't understand that because they feel like you should have said something to me. But if I said something to you, I was going to take something for you that was not a problem for you. Mm-hmm. It was a problem for me. And so I'm incredibly grateful for the amazing women that God has placed in my life who really get me and understand me and ride with me, you know, for real. And I know ride with me until the wheels fall off. But we'll always say, Dr. V, you tripping. Because my friends really do say that. I know my husband thinks that nobody says anything. My friends be like, oh,
we'll check you. You gonna get checked.
And I be like, I am, but so I'm exactly. Until I stop. Okay.
Yeah. I
absolutely love you, and I am so grateful eternally for our relationship, our friendship, and for the opportunity to build business with you.
I love you too, Dr. V. For real, for real. I'm really grateful for you. And we are part of a historic movement. And when I say that I'm grateful, I really mean that. Like, I mean that, y'all. I'm grateful to the point of tears. The gratitude is real. The positioning is real. The timing is real. Everything is truly real. And it's like seeing it unfold. It's like, oh, shoot, this is really happening. Like, oh, my gosh. Like, I mean, I've said it for a long time. I believed it for a long time. But now it's like, yo, this is really happening. Oh, my gosh. Like, this is really happening. Yo.
Yeah, like my waist. Ah!
Come on here, waist. Come on here, waist. You better. Come with it, waist. Come with it.
It's happening.
All right, y'all listening. We've been on here for a good hour. Bless the Lord.
Yes.
I hope that we've inspired. Not I hope. I know we have. Let me stop with that. That's that false humility. No. Yeah. We inspired who we needed to inspire. And that was the reason why we came on here. And so the people that we did speak to that this touched you, move forward.
Yeah.
You couldn't get a lot of from this. One thing you definitely did get was movement. Move, take action,
Yes.
and never stop.
Yeah.
Never stop. Even if you take a pause for a moment, get back up, because there's too much at stake. Like you can't forfeit what's truly been called and ordained for you. God's not going to force you to do anything, right? You have to be willing and wanting to do so. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for you, Dr. V. I'm grateful for Mr. Kenny E. Lloyd. I'm grateful for Mrs. Shantae Lloyd. I'm grateful for Mr. Clavon Damu Browning, because if it were not for him, I would not be in this company at all right now, ever again in this industry. I'm grateful for him. I'm grateful for all the BAM bosses across the nation and in Canada. I'm grateful, y'all, because for over 13 years, God showed me this vision, allowed me to see other people win and soar. And now it's our time. After 13 years, now it's our time. Now it's happening. Oh my gosh. After 13 years. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Well, before I start getting emotional even more and crying, I'm gonna get off of here. Listen, y'all seen the video. You know we're talking to you. Get on board. That's it. That's it. Get on board. Let's go. Let's change some lives. Let's become millionaires together. And let's change lives around the world once again. So, Dr. V, any closing remarks that you'd like to share with the people them?
Let's get it.
There you go. Bam. Let's get it. All right, y'all. Go ahead and get in contact with Dr. V if you're watching directly from her page. If you're watching directly from mine, get at me. If you're watching me on YouTube, email SharitaLeon@gmail.com or find me on Facebook. And we are about to do the dang on thing for real, for real. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, only believe until the end and go get your life.
I'm a millionaire, money better cases. I ain't gotta chase it.